Welcome back, sports fans. This is your host, Alex Vargas. We have a special update today coming at you live from the divisional round weekend. We've got Bills-Broncos today, 4:30 Eastern. And tonight's game, we have San Francisco battling it out with the Seattle Seahawks. This is Alex Vargas on ESPN, coming at you live at EA Sports. It's in the game. Today's matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills, two teams that I can't stand to watch in the regular season. We're going to be forced to watch them during the NFL playoffs. So most of this season, I had no clue that Denver was any good. I did not know that Bo Nix had been the second coming of Jesus. I didn't know that the Denver Broncos were 14-3 in the regular season. They're about to face off against the Buffalo Bills team, which with Josh Allen at the helm has been about 12-5. So records are a little bit telling. 14 wins in the NFL is nearly impossible these days, especially with the fast pace, the injuries, and the styles that require them to play. But let's start off. I want to go over both teams' schedules throughout the regular season. The Broncos started out their season winning out in the preseason, which I will note is this is a thing that Baltimore did for a long time. Now that Harbaugh's gone, who knows what's going to happen to that. But the Denver Broncos in the regular season beat the Tennessee Titans 20-12. The Colts beat them 29-28. The Chargers beat the Broncos 23-20. So they took two losses early in the season. The Broncos came back to start the season on a winning record, beating the Bengals 28-3. The Eagles 21-17. 13-11, the Jets, beating the Giants 33-32, beating the Cowboys 44-24. Ooh. The Denver Broncos also went on to beat the Texans 18-15, the Raiders 7-10. They beat the Chiefs 22-19. There was a final overtime game against the Commanders, which the Broncos had defeated them 27-26. The Broncos defeated the Commanders 26. The Broncos defeated the Commanders 27-26. They went on to play the Raiders, which they won 24-17. They beat the Packers 34-26. The Jaguars were able to pull out a victory. December 21st, they beat the Broncos 34-20. The Broncos also beat the Chiefs again in the regular season. Broncos finishing the season beating the Los Angeles Chargers. Going after their record, I did not see many teams on this roster that pose much of a threat. I would say by reading this schedule was one of the easier schedules that I think I've ever read my entire life. The hardest teams they faced this year were the 49ers in the preseason, and then they played the Eagles midseason, and that's about it. They did not play a single team other than the Green Bay Packers, which I believe was an upset win for them. They played the Chiefs a couple times, but that's not saying much. Out of that schedule, I'm not really seeing any good teams. So that's a hard one. Let's go over to the Buffalo Bills schedule. So the Buffalo Bills in the regular season, they had lost one of their preseason games, it looks like. Two of their preseason games, actually. One to the Bears. That's not relevant. Let's go into the regular season. Now, if you hear the Buffalo Bills schedule from the start to finish, they played the Baltimore Ravens to open the season. They won that game 41-40 after coming back from a 20-point deficit from, well, we all know Harbaugh's team. The Bills beat the Jets 30-10. They went on to play the Dolphins 31-21, Saints 31-19, Patriots 23-20. Ooh, they lost to the Patriots. Bills Falcons 24-14, Bills Panthers 40-9, Bills Chiefs 28-21, Bills Dolphins 30-13. They lost to the Dolphins. Bills beat the Bucks 44-32. They went on to play the Texans. They lost 23-19. They played the Steelers and beat them 26-7. Played the Bengals, beat them 39-34. They beat the Patriots, so that ties their season record with the Patriots 35-31. went on to beat the Browns by a field goal. Played the Eagles, lost 13-12, and the Bills went on to beat the Jets at the end of the season. Comparing these two teams' schedules, comparing the losses that they suffered, I would say that the Bills had a much tougher schedule. They had a much harder road to get here in the playoffs, so them losing a couple games more than the Broncos makes sense to me. Who they lost to this season, that was quite telling. The New England Patriots took one loss. They didn't lose to the Ravens, but did they win that opening game? I don't know. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins, when he put on a great show there. And they barely escaped the Chiefs 28-21. They barely escaped Baker Mayfield 44-32. They did not escape the Houston Texans when the quarterback came back. 34-39. They barely escaped a broken Bengals team. 31-35. I didn't watch the Patriots-Bills game, but that looked like a closer game that they won. The Eagles beat them by a point. We got a couple things that are meeting in the middle. We have an easy Broncos schedule, a very confident Broncos team with a coach that won a lot of those games by close margins, which surprised me to hear. I would have figured that they won by some dominant margins other than the Cowboys. So here's my thinking for tonight. Josh Allen thrives on his home team. He thrives with the Bills Mafia. I don't think if Josh Allen is at home that he will play well. That's just my take. I think Josh Allen is a homebody. I don't think he's going to go on the road and win this game. Mile High Stadium is a very tough stadium to play in, especially if you're not accustomed to the weather. Josh Allen's a big boy, but you know what? So is Bo Nix. And Bo Nix has somebody that I like a lot better than any other coach in this league. Sean Payton was the coach of the New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton coached the New Orleans Saints from 2006 to 2011, and then again from 2013 to 2021. He did take a break from coaching until the year 2023, where he re-entered with the Denver Broncos. He has got a pairing with Bo Nix. It reminds me a lot of a quarterback that Sean Payton used to like a lot. A bit of an undersized guy with tenacity, rough, willing to give his body on the line for the football. This is a coach who was targeted multiple times for targeting accusations. For those of you who don't know what targeting is in the NFL, yeah, it's where you pay a pretty little penny for a bounty on somebody else. $50,000 to whoever gets the running back out of the game, $100,000 to whoever gets the quarterback out. And these are just numbers I'm throwing out. I'll be willing to bet these bounties were in the millions, especially in the NFL. So that's a no can do in the NFL. Most sports teams hurting players is bad for the league, but that's the kind of old school I like. I like my coaches who put a bounty on somebody. I didn't say that officially. I would not want that to happen to anybody, but I can't appreciate a coach that's that aggressive. He does have a Super Bowl under his belt with Drew Brees, and that was a fantastic Super Bowl. I remember Sean Payton's notorious for going for the onside kick, taking risks, having balls of steel. So I think that with the bull that Sean Payton is, he's got the young bull with him. I think that they are going to steamroll Josh Allen. I know people talk highly of Josh Allen. I know the Bills Mafia pretty much thinks that he is untouchable. ESPN analysts won't go at him, but I will. Josh Allen is too big for his own good. I think he runs the ball when he doesn't need to. He gets in the end zone more times than not. I think that he has had a hard time developing a team that is not reliant on him, much like Lamar Jackson. I think that with a player like Josh Allen, it almost becomes hard in a way to coach because you rely so much on the cowboy, look at me plays. I know what you're saying. Lamar Jackson's a lot like that, and I love Lamar for being Lamar. But here's the difference. Sean Payton is a quarterback coach. He is somebody who'll put a bounty on your team. He is going to coach up his other coaches. I think the coach at the Buffalo Bills, I think his name is Sean McDermott. That's off the cusp, so don't kill me. But I just see Sean McDermott reminds me a lot of Harbaugh. A lot of Harbaugh in the way that he'll coach the team, but at the end of the day, that team is listening to Josh Allen. So I do think there is a little bit of it's hard to get everybody on the same page in Buffalo. I think I've seen a lot of the same Buffalo Bills team for the past, what it feels like, 10 years. I feel like I've seen Josh Allen making the same plays, just like Lamar. I'm putting him in the same category as Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, the Harbaugh Ravens, the Mike Tomlin Steelers. I just think the Buffalo Bills are not going to go to the Super Bowl without probably making a change in that head coach and a complete personnel overhaul that, kind of fits Josh Allen's style better. I know you guys are saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Josh Allen's a great quarterback. Yeah, he is. But I do think that there is some issues there with that head coach. I think that team, if they do not go to the Super Bowl this year, they will be facing a very similar situation that the AFC North has faced this year. I think the head coach will be replaced, or the general manager. I think they will start making some changes in Buffalo and following in Steve Bisciotti's footsteps. But I'm excited for this game. I do believe it's going to be high scoring. What I liked about watching Denver's, I'm favoring Denver in this game for a couple reasons. One, I like Bo Nix. I've been watching him since college. When he played Shedeur Sanders, I got to know him very well. He was on that Oregon team that was putting up 50, 60 points against people. I think that the way that Sean Payton has been winning games with his team, the low margins, that tells me a greater story, because I've been on Baltimore teams where they weren't able to, they were blowing out people, but they weren't squeaking out wins. I think when you squeak out a win, that does a lot more for your team. Ugly wins, I think, build a team better than pretty wins. And they've had some ugly wins if I'm going back and looking at their record. So I think they're going to be a little more battle-tested. I like this head coach over McDermott any day of the week. He's old school. He's violent. He's mean. He'll put a bounty on you. That's what players... I think this is what gets a team farther in the playoffs, if I'm being honest with you. Everybody's at the same skill level. Everybody's at the same talent level. Where muscle meets the road is up here. It's the mentality that I'll break your fucking leg to win the game. I think Sean McVay has that. I think Bo Nix has that. I think the Denver Broncos are going to the Super Bowl if they can make it past the Buffalo Bills, that is. Next stop, we have San Francisco at the Seattle Seahawks. I don't have the energy to go through the team's records again. One thing I know, Seattle Seahawks have been winning. Sam Darnold, you're a great quarterback. Jackson Smith-Njigba, that defense, incredible. I watched the 49ers play last week. If the 49ers are on, I don't think anybody's beating them. I think the 49ers have a pretty easy ticket to the Super Bowl with very low excuses. That tackle they got on that team, man, he is incredible. Why would the Commanders ever give him up? There are very few teams in this league where the tackles play. Who is the guy's name? Trent Williams. Trent Williams is a beast in this league. Trent Williams, some of you guys will know him. He is one of the highest paid offensive tackles in the league. He is the what movies are made of, The Blind Side, Michael Orr. He is what this position is supposed to be, protecting the quarterback and also making huge plays to make these little... He makes defensive linemen look tiny. He makes his whole team look tiny. He's extremely scary. He will punch you in the face. If you guys remember to Richard Sherman, that was pretty bad. Let's get that clip up here. Yeah, you don't punk guys. Nah, it's all about respect where I come from. You don't punk guys that are that big. So yeah, he's got some anger management problems. I love how San Fran comes out with a speaker. Or they used to with Debo. I don't know if they'll do that tonight, but I think Christian McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings, the players they got on that team, I think they should be able to win. I hope Juwan Jennings is on that team if I'm reporting on him. But I think that's a pretty easy win tonight. But I would say the safest bet is probably, I would say going with San Francisco tonight. The Buffalo Bills will lose to the Denver Broncos today. I think this is going to be a very telling possible Super Bowl match right here. Denver versus San Fran. So cue that up. Let me know what you guys think. I'm always rooting for the Bills to lose. Ravens fan until I die. That's pretty much it. Not much is going on. And then we'll get a quick episode about tomorrow's game. But just wanted to come at you guys with a quick special. There's my breakdown of today's games. I wish I had more for you on the San Francisco game. I think that one's probably going to be the most fun game to watch. I do think, though, San Francisco, Brock Purdy has been on fire recently. How did Brock Purdy come to be? He's little Brock Purdy. He's going to do phenomenal. He's going to throw 5 touchdowns, and he spreads the wealth. You never know who he's throwing to. I don't know how he sees. I don't know how San Francisco gets a quarterback like Brock Purdy. Baltimore gets a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Why does Purdy look so damn good? Why? He's got Christian McCaffrey. He's got Trent Williams. He's got George. I mean, he's got huge pieces on the offensive line. George Kittle's out. I know that, but I think that they have surrounded Brock Purdy with so many weapons. They have given Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, and Rashad Bateman, and a couple people, but I think there is a clear-cut reason why Brock Purdy is able to get so many more weapons. Juwan Jennings, Ricky Parcell, Demarcus Robinson, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. Blocking for him is none other than Trent Williams, highest paid tackle in the league for a reason. Whew. So there you have it. I think that Purdy's team surrounds him a lot better. They give him much better coaches, offensive pieces. I'm excited for these games. 4:30, we got our first one coming up. And, we'll check in with you. See you guys tomorrow, see where we're at. Thank you for listening. Visitor Parking Special Sports Episodes, NFL Divisional Weekend.